Sorry, I'm out of practice. Amber's making me fill in for you,
Here.
girl.
All right, we have a quorum. Roll call is complete. Hearing of citizen comments. If you want to get up and say something, please remember that it's a 5-minute maximum. And tell us who you are.
Hello, is this working? Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
I'm Mike Kelly. Steve, you're in my chair.
I'm in your chair.
I'm with my wife Kathy. We are in District, Mike Kelly and Kathy Kelly. We're in District 1 and District 3, but primarily we're here because of District 3, so that's the subject I'm going to talk about tonight. We have the house there in Wayland and the west side of Main Street down there in Wayland. And about 5 years ago, I was retired Air Force in 2008. I lived all over. We've had many houses all over Boonville, so 7 houses now. Not as many as Steve, but getting there. When we moved here and we've lived in these different places, we've had different times where we've done different things, vacation or had to move around and so forth. We'd turn off the water, we'd have somebody check our house, and we've never had any problem until this year. So about 5 years ago, I came out of retirement and worked for the federal government. Now I work for the Navy. The last 3 years I was in Iceland. Now I'm working in Maine. I'm here on leave. I was only coming here to do medical for a couple of days, but I'm retiring in the spring and then moving back here, and then we're going to retire here again in Boonville. So I have a lot of experience here with different houses and time. And when we came back for our medical appointments, I was supposed to be returned back to work in Maine in 7 December. We went to our basement, which somebody had been turning on our heat for the winter and so forth, watching it and so forth, but they never went to the first floor. We have a kitchen, 2 bedrooms, and a living room, full, finished, downstairs with tile floor, thankfully. What we found was horrific. Our entire downstairs had city sewer backup that filled it had dried over the time, over 5 months probably, because that's how long we were gone, and it turned into mold. So imagine this, I have pictures, but imagine 4 feet high, 250 feet of drywall had to be ripped out. The whole floor, carpets, furniture had dissipated sewage that turned into black mold. We've worn respirator and protective gear to try to clear out that house, and we are left with now trying to recover it back to the house that it was, at least what it can be. So that's going to have another month or 2 months of drywall, paint, new furniture, much destruction. Much has happened. We thought we did everything right. We turned the water off. We thought that we had people checking, but they didn't go down to the first level. They stayed on the second level. But now we have a moldy house, which we have to completely clean and purify. So with that information, I know I've looked at the ordinances. There is a lot about backflows in there. The ordinance covers backflows in so many different ways. It's all about the potable water. That needs to be protected. I understand. The state requires it. The city requires it. I understand that. But it doesn't say anything about homeowners should really do backflows for their houses to prevent from city sewer backing into your house. So I feel that we have been faced with this challenge, and we are certainly doing that as well as we can. We have estimated expenses of about $15,000 by the time we finish. Right now, we're halfway through, less than halfway through. So I'm going to send those expenses to the council representatives, I'll start with 3. So you gentlemen will get it first, and I don't know if I need to go to other people as well. But I would rather work with the city to try to come back from this, because that is the house we want to retire in. And I need your help before the consideration of going litigation, which I'd rather not do with the city. So up for your consideration in the future. So I'll send that to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I wonder if we have any insurance that covers that kind of thing.
It's not our responsibility.
All right, anybody else? Approval of the minutes for the December 4th meeting. Any changes or corrections? Okay, they will stand as submitted. Consent items. Item A, consider pay app number 3, final, from Midstate Pipeline Maintenance in the amount of $13,596.16 for sanitary sewer improvements in 2023. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I make a motion we approve this consent item.
Thank you, Whitney.
I'll second.
Who was the second?
That was me.
Okay. Roll call.
Harville,
Yes.
Hilbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Coward.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Presentation of accounts and claims on page 8.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on December 18, 2023, the sum of $542,595.08. General fund, $251,984.42. Sanitation, $61,891.49. CIP tax, $54,896.00. Waterworks, $30,493.14. Capital projects, $8,431.98. Wastewater, $40,674.71. Tourism, $7,934.60. Gaming, $84,801.00. Parks and Water, $1,487.74. Timber sales tax, $0.00. Economic Development Projects, $0.00. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $542,595.08, being the total amount of money being appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage, first reading on December 18, 2023, read for the second time this December 18, 2023, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve these accounts and claims.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Roll call.
Harville,
Yes.
Hilbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Coward.
Yes.
Item 7, unfinished business. A, second reading of bill number 2023-031, ordinance amending the solid waste collection fees portion of the schedule of administration fees, appendix G, in the Code of General Ordinances. It's on page 9 and 10.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending solid waste collection fees, portion of the Schedule of Administrative Fees, Appendix G in the Code of General Ordinances, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Is there a motion?
Mayor, make a motion we approve this bill.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Questions or comments?
Kate, can you remind us on these fees? This is for the bulk drop, is that correct?
This is for sanitation, so the trash contract, and then also it pays for the health department. So this year, 2.5% is the increase to waste management, 4.2% is to the health department, and so that's a 6.7% increase. And part of my recommendation for that, or our recommendation, is that we were just talking earlier about funds that have reserve funds. The health department has very little, and it is not able to do any capital within its own fund. It's technically a reserve fund, but when we did the improvements at the transfer station this year, which we own the transfer station, we had to pull all of that out of gaming. And I think as a long-term plan, we need to try to get the health fund to be more sufficient.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Horrible,
Yes.
Elbert,
No.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Calvert.
Yes.
Okay, it passes. Item B, second reading of bill number 2023-032, accepting the streets at Boone Point. It's on page 11 and 12.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, accepting the streets in Boone Point subdivision for maintenance purposes, providing an effective date thereof, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Okay, is there a motion?
I make a motion we approve.
Thank you. Second?
I second.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
We did have the one gentleman that came to complain about the steepness, and did that pass all state requirements? I mean, I'm worried about, like, as you go into Boone Point, that the steepness of it right off of Ashley Road. I mean, did we measure that, look at all of that?
We looked at it when they presented their preliminary and final plans, and we allowed that street. And
It does meet city code, okay. All right, I just want to make, because that was the one thing we did have people come and question it, so.
I thought he was talking about the street that went up
Yes,
the
that
hill
other
to the
street.
top. It's not the entrance coming in, but he had a problem with the one going up and on top of the hill.
But it's,
Different street.
but that's still going into Boone Point, right?
It's going up
That's
towards
what-
the residential homes, yeah.
It's going from
But
the
he was
bottom
also
of-
concerned about turning onto Ashley Road. So,
He might, maybe, but, I mean, that was all through MoDOT and it was approved.
okay, because I went out and drove it a couple of times. That was the only part I had an issue with, was just that part coming onto Ashley. That is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other comments? Roll call.
Horrible,
Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Calvert.
Yes.
Passes. Item C, second reading of bill number 2023-033, accepting the sewer lines and water distribution lines for Boone Point subdivision. It's on page 13 and 14.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, accepting the sewer lines and water distribution lines and appurtenances in Boone Point subdivision for maintenance purposes, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion we approve.
Thank you. Second?
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions, comments?
quick question, lack of knowledge. Is there a certain way that, like, are those tested or vetted by the city?
Yeah, we have Miko, they come in and you did like the testing for the water and sewer lines?
Yes, everything was tested in accordance with DNR rules for it.
Okay.
We witnessed every bit of it. Approved.
Okay.
Good question. Anything else? Roll call.
Harville,
Yes.
Hilbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd.
Yes.
Passes. Item 8, new business. First reading of bill number 2023-034, amending chapter 13 alcohol and chapter 14 offenses miscellaneous. It starts on page 15.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending Chapter 3 alcoholic beverages and Chapter 14 offenses miscellaneous, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Is there a motion?
It's just first reading.
That's just first reading, excuse me.
We'll come back again.
It's
We'll
okay.
do that next time.
Next year.
Item 9, reports of standing committees. Public Works commented that they didn't have a quorum. That's on page 27. Anything else from standing committees? Okay. Reports of city officials. You got anything else, Kate?
I just want to note, just so you guys realize, that when we bring forward the ordinance changing the marijuana, we'll actually bring the clean copy. So I put in the highlighted version so you guys can see the changes, but in the next packet, what you'll see will just be the clean copy. So you can toggle back and forth, but just so you know, we'll get rid of what we're getting rid of and keep what we're going to keep, unless you guys had any changes.
Okay. My only comment is, I really am proud of us. That hour's worth of discussion that we had on planning for things. This is good. Every one of you put something in. And Susan and Steve and I can tell you, we've had some councils that just,
Might have something to do with the age.
yeah, either that or the beer that was consumed before they came. City Clerk?
I just want to give a reminder of the candidate filing. It ends December 26th, so that's the last day to file. And updates, Heather Overstreet has filed for Ward 2. Andrew Cowherd's filed for Ward 3, and Cy Harville has filed for Ward 4. And no one has filed for Ward 1. That's my update.
Anything else?
Got a note.
Okay. Any miscellaneous? We got a closed session?
Oh, shoot, sorry.
I don't know why that was on there.
I took that.
Oh, there it is.
I know I took it off.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Steve.
Second,
Second.
who seconded?
Andrew.
I thought you did.
All in favor?
Just go.
Okay.
Just go.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I gotta go.